All right. You want to count me down, or do you already switch?
Yeah.
We're
Good.
good. We're
All right.
live.
All right. All right. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Project XTalk, an Xbox podcast number 27. We're on our way to 30. We're going to do these live from now on. So if you're listening to this or watching live or watching after the fact, Thursdays around 4:45 Eastern time is when we're trying to go live with these. You can obviously watch them after the fact, but we used to post on Sunday. Live works a little better for our schedule now. Just want to throw that out there. So if you were listening before, Thursdays 4:45 is the place to be. But apart from that, my name's Kevin. I'm still your host. I'm joined this week by Tom and Garrett. Amon will be out for a little bit, but how are you guys doing?
I'm doing great.
Pretty good. Kind of hot. I'm not enjoying this weather shift out of nowhere. It's like cold one week and then warm the next. I don't like it. It has to be progressive.
Yeah, I mean, since we live kind of the same area now, it's gonna be like 42 tomorrow or something.
Yeah, it's supposed to
So we have
snow. Apparently, it's
yeah,
okay. Whatever.
yeah. It was like 76 yesterday, and now it's gonna snow. It's very, especially at my new workplace where they keep the floor like 75 degrees. My office is so hot.
Oh no.
I'm like busting open the windows. But enough about the weather. We got a show. We got a little bit of not much news this week. Some rumors, and we're gonna have a topic of the show for anyone interested. We're gonna be going over our E3 predictions. But before we get into that, as per usual here on Project XTalk, we're gonna go around the room and ask everyone what you're playing. So Tom, my guy, what you playing?
This week I've just been playing Outriders and Last Oasis. Outriders now, I feel like the hype period for me is a little over now, and I'm liking it a lot less than I did when I first started playing it. Still enjoyable, but I see so many flaws now. But it's fine.
Yeah. What level are you at?
I'm only level 23. I think I'm almost
Okay.
beating the game though. I'm only like world tier 8, but I'm like one area before the end. Like I said, I skipped all the side quests, not like you did, So.
Mm-hmm.
But I will go back. Then I've been playing Last Oasis, which it's a lot of fun so far. It's weird. I like the survival aspects of the game, however. I like that I don't have to eat and I could just drink water to sustain myself.
Yeah.
So I don't have to micromanage as much.
Water's everything.
Yeah. I mean, it's good so far. I don't know how the end game's gonna be, but I mean, definitely will probably play some more this weekend.
Have you guys done any PvP yet? Because I was talking to you guys for a bit.
So there, one cool thing did happen to us. We were all leaving the Oasis, and then this like huge sandcrawler came behind us. We all had our separate ones. I had the Firefly. One of my buddies had the dinghy we just made, which is a bigger sandwalker, like one of the bigger ones you can have. And then we had the, which one was the other one? It was like a spider one, a stiletto walker. And then behind us, like, we were about to get raided. It was the scariest thing because we're not geared up for combat at all. We have no respawns on our walker, so if we die, like that shit's gone. We're not gonna get back to it, and it's fun.
Oh, that's
It's a little scary. That's why I don't really like survival games that are online too much. But it comes with the risk, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I don't know. I had a lot of fun with it, but I wanted to put it down for a little bit till some more content came out.
Yeah, it's still early access, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, speaking of that, Garrett, what you playing?
I haven't been playing much this week. I've been flipping around some of the older games, some Skyrim and Fallout 4. But Season 2 of Sea of Thieves came out today, and I wanted to see if there was anything new that was cool with it, and they added even more to the trading system now. So it's how much have you guys played it? Well, I know you've played it a lot, Tom. But
I
so the
played
main
it that
thing in
time
this
we
one
jumped in.
Yeah,
So
and I
that was
haven't
is
I haven't touched this season at all yet.
they made like a supply and demand system for all the trading goods. So like let's just say exotic silks would be worth more at one outpost than there is for another. And it's by a ridiculous sum. Like I've just been doing it for the past 3 hours and I'm already level 27 in the season.
Yeah, we're live now, Griggity.
So,
Yeah, we're doing it live.
yeah.
Every Thursday, 4:45. I said at the top of the show. I'm not sure when you got in the chat, but so you're still Sea of Thieves. I don't think it'll ever fade for you. Apparently,
Oh no, every season I'm just gonna go through, get to 100 quick, and shelf it.
do you
It's a
think?
good pickup game.
So you think Sea of Thieves is kind of like your Fortnite, where everyone jumps back in for the season, gets what they want, hops out till the next season?
Oh, for sure. It definitely is. It's got its peaceful bits, but also a lot of chaotic PvP, I'd say. It's not as skill based as it is in Fortnite with their building techniques.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just hope they like actually add more content each season. I looked up the report online and it was like just so minimal compared to the last one.
Yeah. And we also did like their new fort too. They have like an endurance one. And it's like a regular fort, but all the gear is the Athena stuff, so it's worth a lot more. So that's cool too. But
Mhm.
it's like double the length. So
All right.
it's a bit.
Cool. I know I'm a go now, and I know I mentioned in the pre-show I got lots to say for this segment, and I haven't been playing much Xbox, and that is not by choice. I have been playing Persona 5 Strikers, loving it almost towards the end. Probably going to beat it tonight, maybe maybe this weekend, early next week at the latest. But I want to play Outriders. I got on Sunday, me and my friends, we got on like 2 p.m. We were playing, making our way through the side quest, making our way through the story. We were just about to finish the Outriders Legacy side quest. One of the ones it's a super long side quest. You get the achievement for doing it. Final wave of that encounter, I get a server connection error, which is a little annoying because they put out a patch just Friday. It was like we fixed the server issues. Apparently not. Except this one, I was unaware was going to be the worst disconnection because when I came back, my guy was naked, wearing his whitey tighties, had no gear, and then immediately disconnects you from the server. And then I go online. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Why I tried closing the game, tried restarting my Xbox. I'm like, what the hell is happening here? Why can't I play Outriders? And turns out they broke the game with their most recent patch where they introduced an inventory wipe glitch. And I was the lucky recipient of the inventory wipe glitch. So I'm like, okay, look at the Reddit, and they're like, this is priority number 1. We're gonna get this fixed. I'm like, great. How long could this really take? Like, just roll back the patch or whatever. Like, restore the gear. So then they start communicating with everyone. They're like, we're aware of it. We're working on it. We're going to get your gear back. Unfortunately, it's not going to be the same stats and mods as the one you lost. So it can be the same gear, but it's not going to have, any of the shit you wanted on it or any of the stuff you put. That's fine. I can live with that. But it's been what? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, today's Thursday. They just put out a patch today, and it's a patch to prevent further inventory wipe glitches. So if you're playing and you haven't got it, you should be fine now is their hope. You should be fine. They're going to monitor it over the weekend to ensure that it works the way they intend it. And then early next week, if everything goes according to plan, they'll begin to talk about plans for restoration. So I could potentially be, the speed they're doing this at, it could be a good 2 weeks of me before not playing before I get my gear back. And I'm a little pissed off, guys. I'm a little pissed off.
Yeah, that would suck. But on the bright side, that'd be about enough time you need to get through the season of Sea of Thieves. Just saying.
Okay, well, I'm not going to do that. But I do want, it's very frustrating. Everyone keeps praising People Can Fly's communication over this. They're like, well, they're letting us know that they're working hard on it. Like, okay, every day you just keep saying, we're working on it. Like, that's not communication. That's like the basic of PR, and even yesterday they quote tweeted their tweets from Tuesday. Like, you can't even bother to write a new tweet. You just have to bring a quote to yourself. It was the most ridiculous shit. And like, people are, I mean, the Reddit thread I saw has over 7,000 people saying that their inventory got wiped. So it's not a small issue. And I'm glad they're working on it, but how many people are actually going to be there 2 weeks after the fact? Like, if it takes 2 weeks to get their stuff back, and people that, I haven't beat the game yet. I was 26, world tier 13 or whatever, and I had purples. Like, I hadn't begun expeditions to grind for legendaries and try to get like the sweet gear. The people that are going to, their max expeditions, crazy gear that had this, they're going to get stuff back that isn't what they had. It's like, why would they even return at that point? Like, I'd be so discouraged. Like, I'm not doing all this grinding again.
Is your party gone too, or are they gonna wait for you to come back potentially?
No, they're waiting for me, which is why they're a little pissed off, because we've been playing through together.
Yeah.
So like, now they have to wait, and they don't want to wait. And it wouldn't be that annoying if I could log in on a. I don't even care about my gear. Like, honestly, don't even give me like. Yeah, I only need the gear to be able to log into the freaking game. If there was some way that I could just get like blues or greens or grays, whatever, like, just let me log into the server, and then I can play and get better gear. Like, my team can carry me for a few missions until I get some gear. That is my main problem. I'm literally, my character is locked. I literally cannot log in without getting disconnected.
See, I didn't even look into that at all. I thought you just have to start from scratch, but you can't even
No.
log in. That's so stupid.
Yeah, no. If you get the inventory wipe glitch, you cannot log in. Your character is soft locked, so it just disconnects you. I've actually seen people worse, and this is a small percentage, I'm pretty sure, but their whole character got deleted. So I don't know if they're going to restore characters or if there's a way for them to know that, but it's not a great look, especially they've had all the server issues and now they're having these issues. It's not a great look, and only reemphasizes the fact that we're just getting like broken games pushed out to us constantly. Does nothing to alleviate anyone's like worry, like, don't play Think games day one. This is just I've literally had people being like, this is worse than Cyberpunk. And for me, it's definitely worse than Cyberpunk, because I didn't play Cyberpunk. But at least you could play it. Like, it looks shitty on base consoles, but at least you could go in there and have a terrible time dealing with all this stuff. Like, I can't even go in there and experience the shit.
That's fair. There's no performance issues. You just can't play. That's even worse.
Yeah, the game runs fun. I've never seen a game get in its own way so much. Like, the amount of server issues, the amount of bugs, the amount of little glitches. Like, Outriders has a good foundation, but it's like killing its. Yeah.
Cyberpunk. Just like, oh, everyone's crashing on this elevator near the end of the game. Okay, I'm not going to go farther than that. Everyone's characters were just randomly dropping and losing all their loot. I'm just going to pause right here. Thanks very much.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even see the inventory thing until it was too late. And then, like, when I went to look, it was 30 minutes after they had tweeted, "We've implemented more preventive measures to address this glitch. Hopefully, there will be no more." You put out a patch, and then you put out further prevention issues, and it still happened. Like, they're testing my patience here. I like the game, but if it's much longer, I'm just gonna drop it, and like, I don't know, probably just won't come back.
Look at the big scale of this. What do you guys like? I'm just pulling this topic out of my ass, but given the state of games like Outriders, Cyberpunk, Last Oasis, what other ones lately? Do you think that there's going to be laws eventually put into place about polishing your goddamn product?
I don't think so. And
No.
and at least Last Oasis has an excuse. That game is an early access game. These games are
Yeah.
full releases that were delayed on top of like are still being broke.
Yep.
Yeah, but I figure both of them should have been put in to early access.
Yeah, it's just it's hard. I don't think there could be any legislation around that because what defines polish is such like a qualitative term. Like there's no strict definition. Like CD Projekt Red could be like, well, it is polished. It's just not perfect. Like,
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
like I guess like a percentage of interactions, but there's just so many interactions in a game that there's bound to be like
yeah,
15% that fail. Yeah.
yeah. I understand that no game
Yeah.
is. Games back in the day were a lot simpler. Games these days are more complex. There's way more interactions. There's way more happening on the back end that like we could ever have imagined back then. So I understand some bugs and some glitches, but I feel like games are getting to a point where it's out of control. Like
It's
there
getting
has
to
to
a
be
point where
some sort
Skyrim
of.
is smooth.
I played
Like
Skyrim and I honestly did not have that many. Like I played Skyrim a lot. I don't remember it having this many issues, to be honest with you. Like I
That
know everyone
game,
likes
Oh,
the
I just
show.
remember so many, like there was times where I'd go through like a door and it would just bat my guy out of the area.
yeah, but those
And
are
I'd just
fun
be like,
glitches.
fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, see, but those were the
those
good days.
those
And that
are
was as worse as it got, but now it's like that's not even that bad. That's easily playable.
yeah, those aren't game breaking. Like oh, the
Yeah.
quest can't finish in Cyberpunk. All your loot and character get locked out of Outriders. Like it's just ridiculous at a certain point, and especially when the games get delayed, it makes you think like, well, what the hell were you doing? Server issues, I can understand. There's no way you can could have accounted for the amount of players. Like I get that to a certain point. I'm fine with I'm fine with dealing with disconnects until they fix that. But what the hell are like so many games have loot systems. So many games are connected to servers. Like it's been proven how to do this. So why is this an issue?
This game still had no reason to be online only. Just like
I
Diablo
agree.
3 at launch. I can play
I
alone.
played Diablo 3 at launch too. I played Diablo 3 at launch. Having these, maybe, do you guys think it's worth it to play games at launch at this point? Just throwing it out there.
If it's an online
Not
only
really.
game, you're risking a lot.
Like Grounded, I think is going to be one of my bigger regrets of the year, just because like I've played it so much before the game's even fully done.
Yeah.
Like coming into that game with fresh set of eyes would be amazing once it's complete. But I don't know, a lot of the magic was worn off, right? Like,
Yeah. I mean, for Grounded in particular, such using that as an example, I know I jumped in a few days after it was released when everyone was talking about it, and I was like, okay, I think this has a promising base, but I'm gonna wait for the full release. So like
yeah,
it's been downloaded. Like I keep getting the updates, and I'm like, as soon as the full game actually comes out, I'm gonna hop in and see what this is all about. I'm gonna explore the whole new world to me. It's gonna be amazing. So I think early access games are a little different. If you launch in early access, which apparently Fortnite is also still in early access, they're never coming out. But if you launch in early access, I have the expectations that, okay, this game, there's going to be bugs, there's going to be some glitches, but like what you're getting into. For games that, and luckily Outriders, I got on Gamepass, but imagine being on PlayStation 5 and paying $70 for Outriders and then dealing with constant server issues, dealing with your characters being wiped or deleted. Like, I would be asking for a refund.
I agree. And it's crazy. A lot of the reviews like are pointing to the same things. Like it had good reception in the beginning. It seems like with the Xbox base, but the people who paid money, ooh, it stings a lot more.
Oh yeah, I was fully prepared to spend $60 on this for the Xbox, and I'm so glad
oh
it came
yeah.
to Game Pass. So glad. Not that I don't think the game's good. I like the game. I enjoy it. I just wish I could freaking play it.
The next patch got you. Don't worry.
Next patch. Hopefully, I come here Thursday and be like, guys, all my gear's back, and I'm loving it again, and everything's fixed. And the patch they put today to prevent more wipes literally says this may increase disconnections for players. So like, why do you have to choose? Why is it every other patch? Why are you breaking the connections or the gear? Like, sort it out.
I mean, I'll take that trade-off if needed.
Yeah, I'd rather disconnect. I'd rather disconnect than lose all my shit. But okay, I think I've ranted on that enough. So we'll get
You
into
got it out.
Yeah, I'm feeling it's left my body. We're good. We'll move into. I'm not gonna call it a news roundup because we don't really have any news this week. We have a bunch of rumors, so we'll go right to the rumor roundup, and we're gonna start with could Game Pass be coming to the Nintendo Switch? So this comes from comicbook.com is where I found it, and this rumor has been around for a while. This isn't a new rumor. It keeps popping up, though. And the latest one has come from Special Ed, otherwise known as Nick Baker. He's from the Xbox era. I mean, if you're not familiar with him, I don't really know like how you cannot be like. Are you an Xbox fan? Like everyone's kind of heard of him. He's a insider. I'll put that in quotes. I don't want to label him because he doesn't get everything right, but he says that the Nintendo Switch on Phil Spencer's shelf that we saw, with the Kojima statue, these rumors are just popping up, was indicating at something, and that is that Nintendo Switch could be getting Game Pass. Jeff Grubb kind of backed this up by saying that everything on Phil's shelf meant something. So seems to be corroborating, maybe not Game Pass, but something's in the work. I've also seen people saying that the relationship also means that Master Chief will be getting in Super Smash Brothers as part of this. So I know I have a Switch. Tom, you have a Switch. Garrett, I don't think you have a Switch, but
I got a Switch.
Oh, you got a Switch? Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you were an Xbox only kind of guy. All right. What would Game Pass coming to Switch do for you guys? Does it pique your interest?
I mean, to me, it wouldn't change much, and I feel like if it did go on there, it'd have to be just cloud based, right? I mean, their specs aren't really good, and there's not really a lot of games that like will cross over on Game Pass, like on like Xbox and PC, like with the Switch. So if it's cloud gaming, I really wouldn't bother too much because I wouldn't do it on my phone anyways as well. But with the Switch in hand, maybe I would be more inclined, since it actually has like physical controls and like, I can carry it around like easily. It'd definitely be more easy than like putting my phone connected to my like Xbox controller. So
Yeah, the mobile gaming, they want you to buy like the Rikishi or whatever the
Kishi
thing. Rikishi, put your phone in. Rikishi, he's a WWE superstar. They want you to buy that and put it in the little thing, and then have it connected to an Xbox controller. So you got to carry those around with you all the time. Garrett or Tom, I don't know if you were finished. Feel free to keep going. I interrupted you.
Oh no, all I was gonna say is like even though I wouldn't use it, I feel like it would benefit Nintendo a whole lot. They don't have a service anything like it so far. At least PlayStation has PS Now, which is like, I guess comparable in some ways. So, I mean, it'd just be a big plus for Nintendo, and they will literally lose nothing for it. Like, they're still buying your console. They're still gonna be buying your games. Win-win.
Garrett, what are your thoughts?
I would have to say it doesn't affect me unless it went full send, because I don't play it enough to like go online with it. So
Okay.
it would be perfectly like the bee's knees if I could get Xbox Live through that thing and just like talk to my buddies, sync up a mic while I'm at work. It would be great. But other than that, it doesn't affect me much. Just another place for the Xbox brand to go. More people to pay for Game Pass. So more games for us.
Yeah, I don't think Nintendo will ever. They don't even have their own built-in chatting thing. You have to use a phone app. It's absolute garbage. So I can't see them letting Xbox Live run over there and have parties and stuff. Yeah, Nintendo would probably shut that down. I'm a little like, does this affect me? No, I wouldn't. I probably wouldn't use this in the slightest. Mainly because my Switch lives in its dock. Its home is in its dock under my TV 99% of the time. I don't like it playing it handheld. It's not comfortable. The Joy-Cons are trash. They're literally the worst. I think they're probably the worst controller ever made. I feel pretty confident saying that the Joy-Cons are the worst controller ever made. In my
Yeah, but you just got to admit it's so damn handy when they break into two. Like,
is it though?
That's when I've really used it though. Is when it's just like in its portable mode, because like I chill at work sometimes, and sometimes I got like an hour free in the middle of the day, and it's like that awkward amount. It's 15 minutes ride home, so do you go home for half an hour and come back, or do you just chill? And like me and a buddy would pull out Super Smash on there, and you could just like flip each of the controllers around and just beat each other.
Oh well, I could never play Smash like that. So
no, with one Joy-Con, that sounds terrible.
I am an average person. Okay, I've seen you play. We are not on the same level. Like I would get obliterated. Not even a joke.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's good for a couple coworkers just to chill, or like we've done Mario Party. We played Civ.
Yeah, I'm not saying. I think for most, listen, the Switch has sold almost like 80 million. 80. That's twice what Xbox did last gen. So
yeah,
if you could get, if Microsoft is only concerned about Game Pass subscribers, as we've been told, that's their focus now. Getting it to 80 million people, that's a win. Like if they don't really care that their games will be playable on other consoles, which I don't really think they do at this point. You know, they're on PC, they're on your phones. I don't think they give a shit if you can play them on other things. I don't see the downside for Microsoft here. Nintendo, I assume they would get some sort of revenue cut from allowing it. I can't imagine they're just doing it out of the goodness of their heart, right? Like they'd probably have some big split from like every new subscriber that comes on their platform, or maybe like every game downloaded. Although it's cloud, you don't download the games through right? You just click and then they streams them, right?
Yeah. But I imagine, like you said, some sort of revenue cut. I think that's how it works with like Google Play. I imagine they take a like automatic cut.
Yeah.
So definitely.
Yeah. Okay. So Nintendo could have a financial incentive if they wanted to do this. We've already seen 2 Microsoft characters in Smash Brothers, so I'm not sure about Master Chief, especially because we just got Steve. I think that'd be a little. I don't know how fans would react to that, but Game Pass on Switch makes sense to me. But even though it wouldn't affect me, like I'm not going to play it handheld. I don't take it on the go. And if I was going to play Game Pass games, I'm just going to walk 10 feet into this room and play on my Xbox, not in the living room on my Switch. So I wouldn't be surprised. If I had to rate it, how likely, I'd say this is like 40% to happen. Like I wouldn't even say it's 50%, like it's a 50-50, like it might happen.
Yeah, I mean, there's a chance. I feel like it's a stretch regardless. I feel like it's the same thing I said before. Phil Spencer's throwing a random stuff behind there. It does not always mean something. So everyone's just going to speculate to speculate.
There was also a rumor, and I'm just going to tie this in. I don't really know if we need to go too much, but that Xbox Game Pass, they were trying to get it on Steam. I also saw that rumor on Game Rant this week. It got started by some YouTuber, Tyler McVicker. I don't know who that is. They said that Valve's interest in Xbox Game Pass is real, and that they were going to try to bring it to the service. I don't know if I believe that, because it's already on PC. Like, if they're going to use it, why wouldn't they just use the Windows Store, right? Like
Yeah,
when Microsoft want them that traffic going there.
So I think that it would be a huge gain. There's a lot of people that are strictly Steam only. They will not use Epic Store. They will not use Windows. They won't use GOG. They only want to have their entire library on Steam. So I think it'd be extremely beneficial for them to bring it over to Steam. I also don't like the API they use for Windows Store and like the games that like when they execute. It is the most unintuitive thing ever. Bringing it to Steam would increase PC Game Pass, I think, in my opinion, by a lot. Have you played Game Pass yet?
I loaded up the browser when I was thinking of trying Ghost of a Tale, that little mouse game, because I saw it was on PC Game Pass. But then I tried it on Xbox because there was a free demo,
Oh yes.
and I didn't really like it. Yeah, I didn't really like it, so I didn't end up subscribing to the PC part because my Xbox subscription is shared with my brother. He's the one that has it, so I don't have access to the PC portion. So I haven't tried it, but the app that launches, and I had to just turn it off to be like, don't automatically launch when I start my PC. I don't want Game Pass popping up every time. It's not great. It's not great.
Yeah, and that's exactly why I think it would be beneficial. I think a lot of people have complaints of it, and hopefully this would mitigate it if it does come true. Better relations with Valve, I think it's good overall. I think Valve is pretty solid company.
I mean, I don't think there's any question about that. I do get what you're saying, that there are people. I mean, we saw it when the Epic Game Store launched. They were and started getting exclusives. They were like, "Well, I'm never playing that game." Like Steam.
When Borderlands
Steam
3
Rise
came out, they were like, "No, I'm not buying that game. I'm gonna wait 6 months to play Borderlands 3." Okay, I'm gonna get it on the Epic Game Store. Suit yourself.
Yeah, for someone that isn't a PC gamer, I have some games on PC. I have a Steam library here, but nothing major. I have a pretty mediocre graphics card, but I don't really get. It's just a launcher. You just click something else. Like I just don't get it. And I wonder if this is how like PC players feel about consoles. Like it's just another box. Like what does it matter? Like they're all the same. And in my mind, I was like, it's just a launcher.
No, and that's the same. I believe it's so true though, because the reason my brother won't, he likes the Xbox idea now, but the reason he won't switch from PlayStation is because he already has a library built up from all his PS4 games that he does not want to rebuy. And I'm like, okay, and I feel like that's how a lot of the Steam guys are going to be. Like, well, I'm not switching over, even though for them it's a way less issue because you said it's a launcher. You just click it. Just click it.
Yeah, you don't lose your Steam games. They're still there. They're just in a different double click.
Yeah,
so just double click.
Their excuse is much more mediocre.
Garrett, would this affect you? You don't have a PC even, do you?
No, I don't even have a PC. Roommate has like a very fancy one and whatnot, but like, I don't know. I don't understand the logistics of it. I think, like Tom was saying, that the only reason that people would care that much is just so that they don't have to switch their library. But Steam doesn't have anything like this right now. They're still on like the free games every month thing, right? Like how we are with Gold.
I don't think they do that. I think that's
So,
Epic.
Yeah, Epic does
Okay.
free games. I was like, Steam does free games? I don't have any free Steam games. I don't even have Epic installed on my computer. So like I can't really say that the Epic Game Store is good or bad. Like I don't have it. I have Steam. I have BattleNet. That's for literally just Diablo. It's all I play, and I haven't played it forever.
Like
And
the only thing I got my laptop for is StarCraft 2. And that's just a very old, barely can play it, but hey, you gotta get the itch in sometime. I used to be an RTS guy.
I have GeForce. I actually have GeForce because that's my for my graphics card. They'll like install this. I'm like, yeah, sure, well, whatever. So that's on there, but those are the only things I have. Like, I think it would get confusing if it came to Steam because you already.
I think it should just be like a little launcher. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. But who knows? I'm not a PC guy. I can't make that judgment. It's nonsensical to me.
It's it's already a little confusing to get EA Play connected to PC Game Pass. I hear that is not a good system they have, so I can only imagine trying to add a triangle and connect Steam into that would not be a fun process.
Yeah. But like on the other side, one of us got to be a little controversial on this. At what point would you guys consider the Game Pass getting on every platform as a bit of a monopoly? 'Cause,
Never.
like,
No, I mean, then I
come
would
on, it,
I would
it's
say that about
getting
Netflix then.
everywhere, man.
Yeah,
You
no,
can
Netflix
put
is,
Netflix on your
Netflix
fucking
is on
fridge.
everything. Yep, Netflix
Yeah,
is
I
on
guess
everything. It's not a monopoly.
that's true, but like what I mean by like, how do I put this? It seems like everybody but PlayStation is considering Game Pass. That's crazy. Just
I
like
mean,
thinking about the logistics of it. How many people are going to be paying for
well, I
fucking
mean,
Game
MLB the show, so PlayStation's kind of considering Game Pass. You know what I'm saying? But
Pass?
MLB made it.
Parts of PlayStation. We can't be those guys. Let's not succumb. I
I
know it's
mean,
easy to poke a wounded horse, but come
I
on.
just think Nintendo and Microsoft have a better relationship, so it's easy for them to consider like allowing something like that on, and they're not they're not direct competitors. Let's be real. Nintendo isn't in the home console market at the moment. I know they say Switch is both, but Switch is a handheld for all, like first and foremost, Switch is a handheld that can do TV outputs. And I think we see that like that's why it's popular in Japan, because Japan is moving towards a more mobile gaming focus. You know, they have smaller apartments, they don't want these giant consoles. They play on their mobile phones a ton. Like it's huge over there, and the Switch is huge over there. And this could be a way for Xbox, and I didn't even think about this, so right, this could be a way for Xbox to get into the Japanese market more. If it was on Switch,
Oh
people
yeah,
might
that's
play it.
actually very true. Huh. Heard it here first.
Heard it here first. Confirmed. Japan,
Confirmed.
Japan only Game Pass.
Yeah, Japan only Game Pass.
That would be interesting if Nintendo was like, we're doing Game Pass, but only in Japan. Because
Yeah.
like Microsoft doesn't sell consoles over there. They sell consoles in the US. Like this is their primary market. So if Xbox wanted to do something like that, that would be a way to get into Japan markets without their consoles. But I mean, then still sell here. So it wouldn't really divide, in my opinion. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and then we'll get a new Super Mario Maker RPG on Game Pass.
No, that's never going to happen. Nintendo would rather close it down before they let Mario on another platform. But I mean, I think that that'd be interesting. And I remember those rumors that Sega was going to publish the Xbox in Japan because Microsoft's like brand isn't over there. It was going to be like the Sega Xbox. I remember those rumors before launch because Sega is like held in high regard over there.
They'd have to
Didn't
completely
happen.
change the looks of it too.
What would it be called? The Segs box?
No, it would still be Xbox, but instead of like Microsoft, it'd be the Sega Xbox. They would just
Or
like put their
Dreamcast
name on
2.
it. Dreamcast 2. Guys, hot take. Dreamcast did not deserve its fate. It was a good console.
No, it was a good console.
I loved
Ahead
Power
of its
Stone.
time.
Power Stone, bro. Power Stone.
Ahead of its time, as my friend would say. He likes to say Dreamcast was ahead of its time, and I have to agree. The Dreamcast was a good console.
Or like they had that Sega game where like you were getting like little creatures and you could put them into other ones and you make them fight like Pokemon or do like mini games. I remember that one.
Was that the thing with the controller, the little video thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I remember that.
The Sonic games were top notch back then. I top quality. Like
when they were good.
Yeah, when they were good. Now we're getting rumors of Sonic Colors remastered or something. Like, oh god, like, I don't need this in my life. Once they made him into like a werewolf, I was kind of like,
oh, there it goes.
This is the end of Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, looking back, it was on the wall. Like Shadow the Hedgehog. I played the shit out of that game, but looking back, I was like, that was a really bad game. Like, why would they give him guns and stuff? Kind of like a dumb concept.
It's edgy. It's cool. It's hip. That's what the kids like.
The kids like, not anymore, Sega. Now they like Yakuza. Give us more Yakuza. Put Sega in Yakuza. Secret character. Or put Sonic in Yakuza. Secret character. Unlock. I would love that. I would love Sonic kicking the shit out of some gangsters. But we'll move away from the Game Pass talk. We'll go into the topic of the show. That's what I'm going to call it. It's going to be our E3 predictions. So we're going to go over the list of E3 people that are showing up and give our predictions for what we think will be at the showcase. We have no information. We're literally just being like, we think this could happen. I did see right before this that we went live, Ubisoft announced that their showcase is, I assume, kicking off the show because they announced it Saturday the 12th, the first day of E3, for 3 p.m. or 12 Pacific. I assume that's going to kick off the show. That's usually EA kicks off E3 week with like a noon on Saturday. So I don't think EA is coming to E3 as of now. So it's certainly possible they could have EA play at noon and then Ubisoft is at 3. But Ubisoft is going to be the first confirmed one. So what do you guys think or you want to see from Ubisoft at E3?
I mean, this is on everyone's mind.
Something new.
Whoa, not something new. Something old, but new. And that's going to be Splinter Cell because we have to see another Splinter Cell.
My guy took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah, besides that, there's like, I want to see more Far Cry because I'm really hyped for that game and I hope it comes out soon. But besides that and Splinter Cell, I really don't care about Ubisoft right now. I can care less of whatever their new Assassin's Creed game is going to be for the next year as well.
Garrett?
I'm hoping that they're going to talk a little bit more about Skull and Bones from them. And
right, that's a thing.
Yeah, like I don't know, man. Black Flag, I really like the ships in there. And they said like that's just a ship focused game, so I was like that could be fun. But Far Cry, I'm gonna admit it's starting to get stale for me. They have so much potential with how the bad guys they should try to take back bases more aggressively. Instead of like they'll be like, "Oh, your enemies will come and try to take back places," but they only do like twice throughout the game, and it's very annoying. Right? So like even Far Cry's gotten stale for me, so nothing really from them. Skull and Bones, that's about it.
That's a pirate game, right?
Yeah.
Man,
I like drinking beer and like swashbuckling.
I mean, we could just play Sea of Thieves.
this is gonna be like mature Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Ubisoft. I said it, and anybody that watched my Immortals review this week that went up, go check it out if you haven't. I made it clear I don't give a shit about Ubisoft, unless they have Splinter Cell for me. Splinter Cell is the only thing I actually like from them. I've given them plenty of chances over the years. I gave them a chance with The Division. They burned me on that. I gave them a chance with Mortals. It was fine. The story is good. Everything else bad. I don't give a shit about Assassin's Creed. Prince of Persia looks garbage. Their remaster. I did like Prince of Persia back in the day, but I just don't care about Ubisoft at the moment. And it's because all their games follow this open world dynamic, and I don't want that. I don't like those games. So I'm with you, Tom. Splinter Cell or GTFO. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at with Ubisoft. Yellow Devil in the chat says Assassin's Creed Valhalla DLC got delayed for 2 weeks. Can't wait to finally play the Ireland DLC. Greetings from Germany, where it's almost midnight. Well, shout out to you, Yellow Devil. Did see that the Ubisoft or the Assassin's Creed DLC got delayed. I I know. I don't know. Even my brother, who plays every Assassin's Creed and loves them, I don't think he's going back for the DLC. I don't think he cares. My one friend was so bored, he just 100%ed Valhalla. That's how bored he was this quarantine.
I mean, they've done a lot of updates, so I plan on going back. Like stuff like I know they updated like the rating feature, and they're gonna make it like less trash, so you can actually keep doing it instead of just running out of them eventually. So eventually I'll go back, and I'll probably do the season pass whenever it's on sale again. Ubisoft loves doing like the crazy sales in the store all the time.
You know, but speaking of it, it comes to mind we have to give Ubisoft some benefit of the doubt with their repetition and formula is so repetitive that
Cells.
I think they have the least glitches upon release of anybody. Thinking
I
about it now,
heard.
like my Assassin's Creed Valhalla had nothing go wrong with it from day one.
I
What
mean,
can
you
you
say
guys say?
that, but Watch Dogs and Immortals both had glitches where your save data would get deleted just randomly, and it was
Okay, I
only
never heard about that,
yeah.
and I
Watch
never
Dogs was
played either of those.
Yeah, Watch Dogs was only auto save. They didn't even have a manual save feature. So like if your auto saves got deleted, like you were just screwed. Immortals, I believe if you left it in, if you tried to quick resume Immortals and then you played after quick resume and then saved it, you had a chance of getting your save wiped. And the only option was to like go back in, load the corrupted save, and then don't close, like do not close, just like beat it from there on out.
Okay. Shit.
Yellow Devil
Never
says he.
mind, Yubi. I tried to speak up for you. I
Yeah,
tried.
they literally just fixed
Goddamn
that
thing.
save issue, I believe. It was supposed to be fixed in December, and they think they just fixed it. Yellow Devil says he used the Cyberpunk, her, they used the Cyberpunk refund to buy the Valhalla season pass. So I guess it was free for them. Good, I'd say that's a good use of your money.
Yeah,
I'd say that's a better
Yeah.
use.
better than Cyberpunk at that
Yeah.
point.
Better use. Okay, so Ubisoft, you're dead to me unless you give me Splinter Cell. So we'll move on. Who else is here? We got Koch Media. And for anyone that isn't familiar, they publish games like Dead Island and Saints Row. I honestly have no idea what.
Did they?
Yeah, that's what it says on their official website, Koch Media. Agents of Mayhem, Dead Island, Homefront: The Revolution. Oh, Metro. They're part of the Metro series. So I know. We're getting a next gen upgrade for? Or it might already be out, but for Exodus and stuff.
I think they did announce that.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see another entry in any of these. Really, like,
No.
are we? Dead Island 2, wasn't that a thing? Like, I thought that was supposed to happen at some point.
Yeah,
It
they
keeps
announced
like
that
getting.
forever ago. Like it's never
Yeah,
happening.
I'm waiting for Dying Light 2, not Dead Island though.
I think a new
It's-
Saints Row would be neat. Like I feel like I used to like Saints Row up till like the second one, and then
They
Mhm.
need
they
to
changed
bring
it to
that
like
back to the basics.
yes, then they changed
Like,
like to a wacky game, and I feel like if they scale back all that and go back to like the more GTA clone, I guess I'd probably like it better.
yeah, well, like GTA, I figured it was like they turned up the notch on the San Antonio or San Andreas, the whole like gang fighting thing. So like if they went back to like their grassroots, but they just had to go bigger in every game, and then by the end of it, they were fighting Satan, like,
And you can fly.
and you could fly in a mech suit
Yeah,
and other things. It was just too insane. It was nuts.
I've never played a Saints Row, but I have seen that they went from GTA clone to over the top. Like, what the hell is this? Like, it's the most ridiculous stuff at some points. Um, Saints Row 5. I don't know. I don't know how well they sold. Like, are people waiting for the next Saints Row? Like, I feel like Saints Row
It's
4
got a
was a
cult
while ago. Am
following.
I wrong?
Like,
When does
oh, go ahead.
Saint Row 4 came out in 2013?
Yeah, it was the
So it's been,
last. It was like the PS3 game and 360.
yeah, it's been 8 years. 8 years. of that. And I don't know how confident I would be that Saint Row 5 or whatever they want to call it gets announced. I would probably be like Metro, a different Metro game gets announced. I think that series is a bit like kind of their flagship one at the moment. Everyone loves like Exodus, and I personally think they're bad. I tried hopping in, and I was like, this is boring as shit. This world is empty. I did not care about anything going on in those games. So
I still haven't tried it.
Well, maybe you can wait for the next gen version if it's not out yet.
Yeah, I'll probably try
hop in
it
there. All right, so a little obscure there. I'm sure they'll have something that we cannot predict at all. But speaking of something I don't know how to predict, Take-Two Interactive, another big publisher responsible for NBA. They just announced yesterday, I don't know if anybody watched the Indie Direct, but Ollie World, a little skateboarding game coming. They're publishing that. Other than that, like Borderlands stuff, right? Like if Gearbox is gonna be there with them, because they're still the publisher for Borderlands, even though Gearbox got bought. So maybe some Borderlands DLC if they haven't finished that. What else could Take-Two have? Do they do the Outer Worlds?
I don't know. But don't they do GTA, or is that like strictly Rockstar? Like I know they're the same in a way, but I'm not sure how similar. Like, or do they publish it for them? I mean, can we see GTA 6 in this?
I don't think we're. Are we still waiting for GTA 5 next gen version? Didn't they?
Oh, yeah, I can't wait. It's like easily like
Nobody's
my hope to
actually waiting for it.
There is people waiting. There's a lot of people that still play GTA Online and drop a lot of money in that game.
Yeah, there's the whole role-playing
Think
community.
about the logistics. They keep on putting effort into it because you guys keep playing it. Put it down. Get us GTA 6 quicker. Just saying.
I don't get the appeal of Grand Theft Auto. I know it's the second most best-selling game of all time, right behind Minecraft. So.
But Take-Two.
Yeah, yeah, Yellow Devil. Obsidian made Outer Worlds, but I think 2K published it because Outer Worlds was made by Obsidian, but it was before they got bought by Xbox. So I think 2K might be the publishers and not Xbox right now. I can check on that. Give me a second. You can finish. Sorry for interrupting. Tom.
That's fine. Honestly, it's just gonna be a bunch of sport games. I wouldn't mind seeing a return of like, what sport franchise was it? I think it was NFL. They were recently able to start doing 2K games again for that. I'll have to double check that, but I would love to see something by them just to give the EA side of football some more competition to actually like work on it and make it good. We're probably going to see a new wrestling game because they announced that recently.
Oh yeah, WWE
2K22. Because I know they skipped last year.
Mm-hmm.
But they did announce it, so they'll probably show some gameplay at E3. And that's really about it. I mean, maybe a new Mafia game would be nice. Last year we got the Mafia remaster, and I like that one a whole lot. If they can make a new Mafia 4 game, that'd be freaking sick.
Yep. I'm expecting sports games. That's really all. So Private Division, I'm looking it up, is the publisher for the Outer Worlds, and they're owned by Take-Two. So it is Take-Two that publishes the Outer Worlds. Oh, and that's what Yellow Devil just found out in the chat too. So we're right about that. I don't know. I think they're done with all their DLC though for the Outer Worlds, right? There's 2 rounds, I think. I think they're done with it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That last one, something on the liquor place. Some liquor distillery was the last major story one.
Yeah. All right. Sports ball. That's what's happening there. We're gonna move into some bigger studios. What you guys want? Capcom or Warner Brothers?
Ooh, Warner Brothers. Let's start with Warner Brothers.
All right, WB. We're gonna see more of Gotham Knights. I think that's guaranteed. It got delayed. I think it got delayed into 2022, so they're not gonna give us a release date. But I think we'll see some more gameplay, some more story trailer. Suicide Squad. I imagine we'll see something.
I'd imagine it. Maybe actual gameplay instead of the CGI trailer this time.
Yeah, even if it's like rough, even if it's like alpha footage of like gameplay of like what the game is, they'll probably talk to us a lot about like what the actual like mechanics and like how the game is going to operate, like how they did with Gotham Knights, where we learned at like DC Fandom that it was going to be like a co-op game. Probably be like, oh, this is where they're going to tell us like it's a live service game and we're going to have a battle pass and all this other nonsense that I don't care about. Suicide Squad, but Gotham Knights, hyped for Gotham Knights.
I wouldn't be surprised if they announced a new Injustice game. I feel like it's been.
I was just gonna say that. I was literally just gonna say that. I want Injustice 3 because that'd be cool. Yeah, those games are rad. What else? I mean, it's just superhero stuff, right? Like,
we can see a little bit more of Back for Blood. That's supposedly by them too.
Is it?
Turtle Rock's making that. Are they publishing?
Yeah.
There's also what is it? What's that Lord of the Rings franchise they have that they do? Middle Earth.
Oh, Shadow of War.
Yeah.
Like Middle Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shadow of War, Shadow of whatever. That's a fun game. That's actually why I personally wish that they were being bought by Xbox. For that, like, mechanic, the Nemesis system.
Responding to Yellow Devil here, Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad in the same year. I don't think they'll do that. I don't think so. They have to split that up a little bit. Would I like it? And would I complain? Hell no. I'm going to play both of them. Throw them at me at the same time. It doesn't matter. I don't think they'll do it though.
Yeah, no, I think the original plan was Gotham Knights 2021, Suicide Squad 2022. I think with Gotham Knights being pushed back, and I think we talked about this, but I think with Gotham Knights being pushed back to 2022, Suicide Squad is either going to be like December 2022 or like early 2023 probably. And Back for Blood is published by Warner Brothers, so definitely Back for Blood will be here because that's coming out in October. They're going to want to get their pre-order money in. And I'm fine with that. All those games are some of my most anticipated, and they just keep getting delayed, and it hurts me. It hurts me inside.
We could get a new Lego game as well. Just going down
that
the
just
list
got
right now, things that pop out.
I actually like the Lego Batman games. I'm not going to lie. They're fun.
Well, what, the Skywalker?
Just for fun, let's say Mad Max 2. Personally, one of my favorite, like, that game for like a cinematic game, one of my favorites. I still like go back and look in the guy like, man, that game was so
and
much
I wasn't
fun.
expecting it to be good because it was like based off a movie.
Right?
Because like movie games are trash,
down,
right?
like,
So
best movie game of the generation. Best movie game ever, I could say.
I mean, they can probably announce it, but when's the next movie coming out? Because I feel like they would just tie it like the wrist with that.
Well, COVID, who knows, right?
Yeah.
I would say something from like they still do Mortal Kombat, right? Like that's still theirs.
Yeah,
like
the same team that does Injustice makes Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So I think Injustice, because Mortal Kombat is still getting support. Like Mortal Kombat is still, there's no need for Mortal Kombat 12, right? Is that where we're at this point?
Yeah, I feel like they're gonna alternate between them.
I think Injustice 3 is probably a good shout to go along with the other things. Like, hell, if they just dedicate the whole thing to superheroes, I'm completely fine with that. And then Back for Blood at the end. But I don't know. They probably have some other little surprises, but I don't think their games are pretty much known. They just keep getting delayed. Like Hogwarts Legacy, delayed. Skywalker Saga, delayed. Back for Blood, delayed. I think their entire slate has been delayed. That was meant for this year. It's delayed to later this year, delayed to 2022. So WB needs to get their shit together is what I want to hear from them. They're going to come out and be like, we're sorry for all the delays. We're going to do better.
It's all right. They're getting all that HBO money. They can delay now.
I don't care about the Snyder Cut, man. I don't care about it. Zack Snyder's an overrated director. I want it on record. He makes trash movies. They look trash. Man of Steel is trash.
I'm not gonna
Batman
argue
versus
about that either.
Superman is trash. I know other people can disagree, but I don't like Zack Snyder. Not that Joss Whedon made a good Justice League. He made a terrible Justice League. Like, what are you doing, Joss? Go make Buffy the Vampire Slayer some more. That was your heyday. But all right, WB done. Capcom, and then we'll get into the big one.
I'd like to see a new Marvel's what is it? Marvel vs. Capcom game. That's not bad. Their last one was terrible. Actually, their last two iterations were I didn't like. At least
I agree.
they scaled back on the character roster and made it so small. They removed the 3v3 combat to 2v2s. Like, just come on, make an actual Marvel vs. Capcom game. I'll love it. Everyone else will love it, and just make it fun.
It could you start the hype cycle now. Marvel versus Capcom, whenever for next year, and then it can make Evo next year. So like it's actually perfect timing for a fighting game. Yellow Devil. I want to address this. Snyder Cut was the best DC movie since Joker. Joker is phenomenal. That's a phenomenal movie. Joker is great. Like, you won't get any argument for that's a 10 out of 10. I should have won all the awards. And I believe the Snyder Cut was the best one because the rest are bad. Like, I'm not saying the Snyder Cut is worse. I'm just saying that it's probably still not good. But it's definitely better. So Capcom, Resident Evil.
Oh yes, and doesn't that game come out next month? Can't wait.
Yeah, but like Resident Evil 4 remake, right? We're all waiting for that.
Yeah, that'd be sick. The last time that one I never beat because I played some of it. I think that one was a GameCube exclusive, right? When it first dropped.
It was for a while, and then it's on PlayStation. It's on everything now, but it was for a while.
Yeah, so when I played it at first, it was on GameCube. I played it at my buddy's house. I've always wanted to try that one. Definitely would play it again. I like their remakes with Resident Evil 2. That one was real good. So I have high hopes for them. They seem to do a really good job with that. New Mega Man game?
So I was going to bring up Mega Man. Because they seem to have forgotten their little mascot. The blue bomber over there has been not shown much love recently. And by that, I mean they keep putting out collections of his games, but not giving him an actual new game. So I either want to see him get a new game, but I also want to see a Battle Network collection because that is prime Mega Man for me. Battle Network era. Those are my favorite Mega Man games. I want to see that. Throw them out there. I know a lot of them are like Game Boy. Like, put it on Switch then. Figure it out. Do something to get me to play those games. They gave me the Zero collection, which I also loved. All those Zero games are great. If you haven't played them, go play them. But new Mega Man definitely, I think, needs to happen. Garrett, Capcom, do they do anything for you?
I played like Dead Rising, and I was going down like Marvel versus Capcom, of course. Let's see what else here they got. They got so much.
I think Dead Rising's kind of dead though, right?
It's a cult classic. I like being in some area where I could kill a zombie with like whatever I feel it's the closest to Shaun of the Dead I could ever be.
I mean, maybe it can start with Street Fighter 5. Maybe it can come to Xbox finally.
Yeah. Like,
Right.
do you know how many Mega Man games there are? Like,
Yeah,
I'm not
I do.
even gonna count these. I was just going through the M's because I wanted to see if they were they made that Marvel like Crew RPG game, did they not? I wasn't sure. And then like I just sort of got stuck on how many Mega Man games they got, and it was just like scrolling like 2-3 times.
And it surprises you that they haven't made a new one in forever, right? Like,
yeah, right.
And Mega Man's their mascot, right? Like, in my mind, Mega Man's their mascot. Maybe they don't have an official mascot, but Capcom, to me, their mascot is Mega Man.
Yeah, in perspective, we were just talking about like Mortal Kombat 12 just came out, but like Mega Man 10, that was in like 2004.
Mm-hmm. I
They've went
I would love
nuts.
them. I'd love them to make a new Mega Man game. Not I don't like not the traditional like 2D, hard as nails Mega Man. Like I don't those aren't for me. But like the other games, like reboot Battle Network or something, like bring it back. I know there was an anime I used to watch as a kid that was
Yeah,
fire.
but maybe a new Devil May Cry might come out. That was the other one that I was going to say, because
Ooh,
they're all done with Devil May Cry 5, aren't they?
yeah, I got its next gen upgrades. It might be a little too soon for that. They could announce it that it's in the works.
Yeah, that's true.
Yellow Devil wants to know: is Tekken versus Street Fighter dead?
That one, I don't think they officially ever canceled that game.
Yeah,
I just figured it was like in like some sort of development hell for the last what 11 years now, maybe since it was announced. Street Fighter X Tekken I enjoyed, and I wanted to play Tekken X Street Fighter. I think that one would be much better for me since I actually like Tekken way more. Hopefully. But yeah, I also wanted to bring up Monster Hunter. I know Monster Hunter Rise just came out, but like, what about Xbox and PS5? We need a new one too, and maybe I would even take a reskinned version of Rise, or just the way it looks now, just give it on these consoles because I don't want to play it on my Switch, honestly.
I hear it runs surprisingly well on Switch, to be honest. But like, also, do you really want to play it in like 480p, 30 FPS? Like,
No, I'll take it the same graphics, just like render resolution at least 4K. Fine, good enough
yeah.
for me.
Monster Hunter doesn't do anything for me. I played World for a while. World wasn't too bad. It got old. Like the grinding for monsters got old. Um, I could certainly see another, working on some Monster Hunter for the main consoles. I imagine World that still gets played a ton just due to popularity. So even if it's just like another giant DLC like Iceborne, I think that was their big one.
Yeah.
If they want to keep that game going, I'm sure fans of the series would love that. I cannot find if Tekken. Oh yeah, literally right here at the end of this Wikipedia page for Tekken Street Fighter, the game is currently in development hell.
So we'll never see it. Maybe, maybe not. I mean, I'd be surprised if it was announced. It'd probably be like my top 3 announcements for E3. Like by default, it'll have to be on that list.
It'd probably be. I don't know. I was gonna say it'd probably be PlayStation only, just because they like love locking down Street Fighter, and then Tekken is also associated more with PlayStation. It's like if there was ever a fighting game that was gonna come out, and like Sony isn't afraid to get exclusivity on fighting games. We have Street Fighter 5 and Guilty Gear Strive, so I could see PlayStation locking down if that game ever does come out.
Yeah, I mean they've always had the bigger fighting game community on that end, anyways. The
Oh yeah.
controller's just been better for it. The Series X controller I think is fine though, like compared to like the last one for it.
So this brings up an interesting point because I was trying to do half circle inputs on the DualSense, the PlayStation 5 controller, and I could not fucking get it, man. It was so frustrating. That D-pad does not lend itself well to doing half circle inputs. Like the Xbox D-pad right now, I would say is better for fighting games because it has like I can roll my thumb like that. Even the Switch, I can do like. I mean, I guess I could use the joysticks if I really like. Obviously, in a real fighting game, I'm using the joysticks, but I had to do it with the D-pad for what I was playing, and I could not get it with the D-pad. But that's just a little side tangent that I was like, I don't really like the PS5 D-pad for doing that kind of stuff.
Where would you rate it compared to the 360 D-pad, which is known to be like the worst?
It's not as bad as the 360 D-pad, so let's get that out of the way. But it's not great. Like out of my controllers, I use the Xbox, the DualSense, and then the Switch Pro controller. The DualSense has the worst D-pad, and it's just like something I don't notice because I don't really use it that much. I use the joysticks.
Yeah, now you have to.
Yeah. But yeah, I do see that Konami is going to be here, and I left them out mainly because, like, what are they going to, like, so here's my thing, and we can talk about Xbox now, the big one, the big conference, Xbox, Bethesda. I left Konami out because Konami is either there to plug some sort of pachinko machine, or they have some big announcement where they're actually going to let their IPs be used for something. And if the Kojima rumors are real, what do you guys think about Xbox coming out and announcing that they've gotten the Metal Gear IP and that Kojima is going to do a Metal Gear game for Xbox?
I mean, that'd be cool. I mean, so if it was like a remake for Metal Gear Solid 1 and something that Kojima himself doesn't have to do a lot of extra work, because quite frankly, these games already over is the age of over-explained games, over cutscenes. Yakuza Like a Dragon, to me, it kind of annoys me with that. I don't want to see. All right, but in that game, it works
right
better.
There. Even I'm. Oh.
So I don't know. I feel like I want to see Metal Gear Solid 1 remake like actually officially happen again. I know we got one with like the GameCube way back when with Twin Snakes. I would love to see them like just go right back to the roots. And even then, if they wanted to make it a longer game, they can just remake 1 and 2 at the same time. Just like the whole entire Snake trilogy.
So, if they're gonna, I think PlayStation's gonna get the Metal Gear remake. To be honest with you, I was thinking more like Microsoft is going to let Kojima make Metal Gear 6 or Metal Gear completely new story, like reimagining of Metal Gear from the ground up, like throw out everything else that he's going to tell a brand new story. It can have Snake. Maybe he changes how Solid Snake is. Maybe it's a whole new world we got here. Kojima's just going to go off the rails. Another thing they could do is announce Silent Hills. But it's rumored Bloober Team is working on that, so maybe Konami, apart at the Xbox show, they could do it since they have that relationship with Bloober. Be like, we're making Silent Hills.
That would be cool, and if that came exclusive to the Xbox, that'd be a huge win. Now, would you like to see a remake of Silent Hill or just like a brand new iteration?
No, brand new. What he was working on beforehand, like what PT was going to be, because that was supposed to be Silent Hills, right?
Yeah.
So I would just brand new, ground up.
I mean, yeah, Konami's not going to do much of it anymore. They might as well give this stuff away.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why is Konami here if they're not going to announce something with their IPs? And I don't think they're going to do it themselves. I think it's going to be a partnership with someone else because they don't give a shit.
What do you mean? We're going to get Metal Gear Survive 2.
Oh, God. For the PS Vita.
And then, before the store shuts down.
then 3 hours.
To tie it in somehow.
3 hours later, you're going to get a story. It's like Konami just learns of PS Vita store closure. Metal Gear Survive 2 canceled. Xbox, though. What are we thinking for Xbox here? We got lots of big games. Obviously, Halo Infinite. I will get the opposite out of the way. Halo Infinite's going to be shown, right?
Yeah, it's going to be there within a release date, I think.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be sick, though, right?
November 15th.
If they released it the same day on Game Pass. After they
announced that's not happening. That's not happening. They've already said it's fall. It's fall.
They could just spin it on us, yo. Please just do that to me. Halo's happening for sure. I would love to see some more. I want to see actual gameplay of Fable. I know we just had the CGI trailer. I don't know how far in development they are, but I want to see some sort of actual concept works of maybe what they're planning on with that game. Because it's definitely one of my more hyped games that's coming to Xbox. What do you guys think?
Oh yeah, I want to see some storyboard art of what were they called again? The Hoblins? Yeah, the Hoblins.
The Hoblins?
The little dudes.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I don't remember their name.
Get like a little Balverine in there in the background. Show
the
me a little bit of the
Ballerines.
concept art. Show me the woods. Show me some hollows and whatnot.
Do you
But
guys, for Fable, sorry to cut you off, but do you want like just updated aesthetics, like keep the same, like Fable 1, but like 2021 version of Fable 1? Because,
yes,
yeah, okay.
No.
No?
I want a complete reboot reimagining.
Well, like, are we talking like all same gameplay mechanics? I think the combat is extremely dated.
No. Nothing. Just like I'm thinking, like Fable 1 has a very unique, or all the Fables have a very unique art style. They have a very unique like tone and setting to Fable. Like it's not something you get in like other RPGs, in my opinion. And
Yep.
I don't know if they want to like recapture that or if they want to like make their own art style, like keep the essence of Fable, like the choices, the morality, the humor, keep it that British humor, or if they want to, try to pay homage to the original.
Definitely, I would keep the old, like the fantasy aesthetic that they had, like the cartoonic style. I feel like that suits the game a whole lot, and it makes it way more unique than the hyperrealism. Like we're gonna get that when Elder Scrolls 6 comes out eventually. So definitely just differentiate yourself and just I like the art style. I love it. The way it makes it more colorful and vibrant and just more pleasing to play, I guess.
Yep, I'm with you there. I definitely want to see some more Fable. Hellblade 2. I know we've seen that CGI trailer. We've seen
I
artwork
still think
on their
about that
Twitter.
song sometimes. Just saying on a side note, like that song for that first trailer that came out.
The
Oh
like
man.
chanting, the like
Yeah.
epic, yeah. So fucking awesome. That's what like one of my. That's why like if not the most anticipated game for me. Like I just want to know when it's coming. I just want to play it. Just give me it. It looks so beautiful.
Give it to me straight.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean,
no, so where are we at? A
yeah.
little bit more Fable, Project Art, Halo. Do you
Hellblade
guys
2.
think we'll also are we gonna include Bethesda in Xbox? Because I
Yeah.
think the show will have like boring Xbox stuff, hype up with announcement date for Halo, start the Bethesda show with a thing for their new one coming.
Starfield.
Why can't I think of it? God, it's right at the tip of my tongue. It's like
Starfield.
Starfield, right? And then boom, that one coming out in like later November. Because I don't know. I think like one's an open or might be an open world esque shooter, and the other one's going to be, well, RPG possibly of the next half decade.
I definitely
So
expect. From everything we've heard, they're going to be two different conferences, but like back to back. So I definitely think whether Bethesda goes, I feel like Bethesda will go first. To be honest, I feel like Xbox wants to like if they're going to do it back to back. I feel like Xbox will want to drop theirs last, and because they're like we're the parent company, like you're not going after us, you know.
And they'll
So
have a lot to
like
show too. Even if like Skyrim was just like, or the new Elder Scrolls like they showed gameplay for some reason, or Starfield, I feel like if they show gameplay for like Avowed right afterwards in their conference,
exactly,
like that's I feel like I'm like whoa, that's more hype, and it's just so much cooler. And they have
yeah,
a
but you
bigger
also don't
variety.
want to take away the shine from your $7.5 billion
But
acquisition,
you're not though,
right?
because you're the
You
same. You're
want
one and the
to,
same.
yeah.
yeah, you're one and the same. But if you are showing off Starfield, I'd say let them. If you put them one back to back, I don't think it really matters on who's first or second. But if you put the Halo beside the Starfield for trailers, that would be the moment, the 15 minutes of the entire week, or
Yeah,
however long three is going, right?
4 days. But yeah, I get your point. I think Starfield is like a lock. I would I would I would say 98% sure that Starfield is going to be shown there and that we get like a release date, whether it's coming 2021 or early 2022. Like I feel like that is going to happen. I don't know what else Bethesda really has to show. Like they're gonna show more Elder Scrolls Online stuff, Fallout 76 stuff. Do they have any other games?
Yellow Devil in the chat, he or she, they said Wolfenstein 3, and I think that can be a big one they can show for sure.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. I keep thinking about like just Bethesda Studio, and then I have to remember like Arcane and like. So Arcane is probably going to show what Deathloop, and they're going to have Ghostwire Tokyo. So this is why I think they'll go first, and like they're not going to be a part because they're part of like Bethesda, which is a part of Xbox, but they're not going to want that on the Xbox showcase because it's PlayStation games. So you'll have Deathloop, you'll have Ghostwire. Definitely more Ghostwire Tokyo because we know literally almost nothing about that game. Maybe we get a tease for what I know Tango is making Ghostwire, by the way. Like I know I threw them in with Arcane, but it's a different studio. We could get a tease at what the other Arcane studio is working on because right there's one in Lyon and one in Austin.
Yeah,
and the other one is
Dishonored, right?
Yeah, the one is supposed to be working. So we could get a split and see their new game. Bethesda is a wild card because their projects are kind of secret at the moment. Besides Starfield, right? And like the big titles that we know, like I don't think we're gonna see any Fallout. Are we on 5?
Yeah, Fallout
5. I don't think we're gonna see Fallout 5. Like that's not a thing that's coming.
Not this year, at least.
No. I mean, listen, we could sit here and be like, Xbox is going to drop Fable, Avowed, like gameplay, Hellblade, Halo. Like, Xbox could have like the most banger conference ever if they showed us gameplay for all these developmental games, and be like, holy shit! But like, I imagine they'll keep some in reserve.
Yeah, because then what are you gonna do for next year? Because like they're not gonna release the same year. Well,
exactly.
Time to do the trailers again from last year again.
Yellow Devil said Forza Horizon 5. That's a good shout. That's rumored to be releasing this year, and we haven't seen anything. I know that's one of the things people keep talking about. So definitely more. I definitely think we get some sort of Forza. They'll want to throw that in there. And then a bunch of like, I mean, my dream is that like, I want to see Everwild. I want to know what the fuck that game is.
You're never going to know what it is.
I'm so curious, man.
I saw people talk. Who is it? Like the head of VGC, the Video Game Chronicles website. He was like, Everwild is years out. And I was like, no, it's not. It's not years out. What are you talking about? Like, we already know it's like 2022, right? Like, but now there's a little doubt in my mind that's like, does Rare even know what this game is? Do they just have a bunch of like pretty CGI? Like, give me gameplay. I want to know. I want to know that this is a game I'm going to enjoy and not Sea of Thieves. Not throwing shade. It's not for me. It's not for me.
Oh, and we can't forget, we're going to get a surprise announcement. Banjo-Kazooie.
No, listen, man. I was saving that for the end of the podcast. Okay, the Banjo-Kazooie 3, Banjo-Kazooie 3, or Banjo-Kazooie remake is coming. I don't care what anyone says. That's the surprise. That's a surprise announcement. You're gonna hear world premiere, and then like little jiggy drops. All right, boop, boop, and then Banjo like, we got this, boy. We got this. This is your year.
Shot him with the nostalgia gun.
This is your year.
He had him ready.
He sits up here. I'm gonna get a bigger one. There's a bigger statue coming out for him. But yeah, and this is the year, guys. Banjo-Kazooie's happening, and no one's gonna tell me otherwise. That is one of the. Jason Ronald was talking about how they have things they haven't announced. This is it. This is the giant surprise. I fully believe, and I'm ready to be heard again. But Yellow Devil contributing more. Doom Eternal DLC year 2. I did not know it was getting a year 2. I thought Ancient Gods Part 2 was the last of the DLC.
Yeah.
It was for year 1. I don't know if they announced a year 2 though, so maybe they can announce one technically.
Hmm.
But what studios did Doom? I forget which.
Who did Doom?
Yeah,
Id.
Yeah, it's
did.
Softworks. Yep. So
Because
Id.
weren't they working on another project as well?
well,
What
that's
else
why
do
it
they?
might be Wolfenstein, right? Is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah,
Wolfenstein 3 is the other. Pretty sure. Um, Man, there's so many studios. It's hard to keep track of what
Yeah, it's like
23 studios
yeah,
are
we're gonna have
doing.
to get so many, and like I'm sure there's gonna be stuff that we would never seen before at all. So it's like I don't know, like what other IPs does Xbox have in their pocket? Are they gonna show us, you know, a brute force, which I've been asking for like the entire year and last
oh,
year?
don't
Are,
stop them.
Is
You're
Fusion
getting
Frenzy
so
going to make
yeah,
a
are we gonna get
comeback?
Fusion Frenzy 2? You know, we need a party
honestly,
game on the
I
Game
give
Pass.
right, but imagine the like Fusion Frenzy, but you could take like the Xbox Cast, like it would be their version of
Oh,
what's it called? Like Wipeout?
You mean your
I
avatars?
know.
Yeah, like you could do a Wipeout game show with the Master Chief facing off with
Don't
who
do
else
Master
do we
Chief like
have?
that.
Oh, Doomslayer. Screw it. It'd be great.
No, no, no. Screw no. Killer Instinct. That's what we need. You
Yeah,
know, if we need Killer Instinct and literally just put all your characters in there. You have the lineup. It's what people are asking for. Killer Instinct has had a resurgence on Twitch in the fighting game community. Like, make it happen. Figure out a way to do it. I
yeah.
don't care. Like, even if it's not one of their studios, like outsource it to someone.
Yeah, if that game didn't have like the development hell it did, it would have so had all those characters, and it would be cool. If they can do that for the next one, that'd be crazy. Master Chief, have Doom guy.
More like mature fighting
Yeah,
game.
but they had Battletoad on it, and he did all right.
That's true. I'm just picturing like Banjo taking a jiggy out of his back and like beating someone like bloody with it. Like, I don't know if Banjo, they'd have to kind of fit the tone of the character, or maybe they'd go crazy with it and make them all,
So
mature, violent.
we're talking about the wrong game then. Then they should just make a Smash like game, and there you go.
I'm fine with that too. Give me. This is an Xbox, but I will gladly take a PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale 2, but just make it a Smash Bros. Clone. Just don't even try to do your stupid. We're different. Literally, just rip off Smash Brothers. That's fine. I'll be a Ratchet and Clank main. Um, but yeah, my big predictions: we're gonna see Halo, we're gonna see Starfield, we're gonna see Hellblade, and we're going to see Banjo 3 or Banjo Kazooie, some Banjo Kazooie game announced. Those are my 4 predictions for the show. You can see me June 16th when they've all come true.
I think for me, it's definitely some sort of gameplay for Fable. Starfield for sure, actual gameplay, and my hopeful one is more of Avowed, like actual gameplay. But I don't know how early in development they are with that. How long have you been working on this game, Obsidian? Tell me, please.
What's your big predictions there, Garrett? If you just had to nail down a few before we wrap up
Oh,
here.
he took him out of my mouth with a dash of Perfect Dark.
Oh, perfect.
I
That
forgot
was a
about
little
that
too
game.
hopeful. I think it's a little too hopeful. I think that's why.
Yeah, that one just
Well, no, it's just
it
like
was
a
just
little like
in development. It just started.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, but that same thing with Fable, and we have this up on the list.
That's
The
true. Listen,
same.
you can dream big, Garrett. Don't let
Yeah,
anyone tell you
like
otherwise.
I'm sorry, I still like the laptop guy. It was an original idea. Running down the hallway, you throw that shit on the wall, and need Perfect Dark back in my.
Yeah.
And the world with the whole like geostorms over the pyramids that we saw in the trailer, like I'm interested. I'm in.
All right. Well, those are our predictions. We'll try to remember them for the show after E3 to see how many I got right. But that's gonna do it for episode 26. Thank you, Yellow Devil, for coming and hanging out in the chat. We really appreciate you. Make sure to subscribe if you're not for all our content. Anyone else watching this after the fact, also subscribe. Drop the video a like. It does help us get up in the algorithm. Audio listeners, you'll probably hear this on Friday, but if you want to come to a live stream, come over to YouTube on Thursdays. If not, you'll get your podcast when you get it on the service. Make sure to drop us a like, follow on there, rate us on Apple so we can start climbing those charts. And follow us over on Twitter. Stay up to date with us. It's at Project XTalk. So go over there, follow us on Twitter. That's where we do all our updates. We converse with you guys. You can always join our Discord too if you want to converse with us directly and not some figure on Twitter. But otherwise, I'm Kevin, aka the Muffin Man on Twitter, and that's my gamer tag. And you can find Tom where?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Alpaca Tom. So I did change my Twitter handle, so it's different than last week.
All right. And Garrett, where can they find you?
Wayworn G on Twitter and Xbox.
All right.
Friend me up. Let's play.
So follow us over there. Like I said, do all the, click the bell, all that YouTube stuff. But we'll see you next week with another live episode.